Hello and welcome to episode 93 of the podcast, The Pocket Stylist. I'm Lisa Talbot and we are hurtling up to episode 100. Can you believe that? So thank you so much to everybody who has been with me since the start, or you've joined halfway through, but you're still here and you're loving the weekly podcast. So today I thought I'd tackle a topic that I hear so much about, and it is I buy online, but I return more than I keep. Now, does that sound like you? So online shopping really it's been around, for a long, long time. But more and more ladies did it during the whole pandemic and the lockdown period. But I know from working with clients and I know from friends, they say, yeah, I buy all this stuff online. But in reality, when they get it there, they don't like the colour, or the colour doesn't suit them, or it's the wrong length, or they really don't like the shape of it, or it's just not what they thought it was going to be when they ordered it. So first of all, I want to say you are not alone. And online shopping, there is a little bit of an art to it. So I want to drop a few nuggets of information for you today to help you as you shop online, because there is an amazing world out there of retailers that some of you may not have even come into contact with. There are some brilliant online retailers from a clothing perspective and also from a accessories point of view. But sometimes we see things in a picture and we just go, yeah, that would be fantastic. But actually, we almost need to look at it a little bit more strategically. And I know that might sound, that might sound incredibly boring. But actually, if we look at it in a different way, I guarantee you will not return half of what you actually get delivered. So therefore, it makes it a lot easier. So as always, I would 100% recommend, before you go shopping, whether it's in the shops or online, we're talking about online today, just quickly take a scour through your wardrobe, have a look at it. What have you got in there? What could you do with? What do you fancy? And go from there. Now, as we start that online shopping, tip 1. Okay, so here we go. So whether you're shopping on a high street retailer or you found another exciting online retailer that you haven't seen before, what you're inevitably going to see is a model wearing that garment. Now, there are two things to look at. If you are looking at it on a model and there isn't an image of the garment on its own, please go into the description and have a look how tall the model is. So invariably, they are normally about 5'6" to 5'8". So what that does is, by seeing how tall the model is, you will start to see the length of the garment. Then you can think, oh, hang on a minute, I'm only 5 foot. So if that model is 5'8" and that garment comes to, say, mid-calf, let's talk about a dress. If it's a dress and it's mid-calf, if you're only 5 foot, that is going to literally puddle on the floor. So then that dress isn't going to be right for you. So rather than order it and you get it home and you try it on and you go, oh, wow, this is really long, you've already eliminated that fact. So first point is, have a look how tall the model is. So if they are 5'8" and you're 5 foot, look at the lengths of the garment that they're wearing. So you can do that with regards to dresses, you can do it with trousers, you can also do it with the top, because you'll be able to see if she's got it tucked in, or whether the model has got it hanging out, exactly whereabouts on her body that is sitting. So you'll be able to start to see the length of the garment. So that is point 1. Have a look at the model, her height, and see whereabouts it is, and compare it to you, and compare it to see whether it might work, that garment, or not. Okay. Point 2. If there is an image of the garment not on a model, you preferably want to see it either like a flat lay, so it's right in front of you and you can see everything about that garment. I want you to have a look at the shape underneath the arms, because underneath the arms, it's going to be a really telling point as to whether the garment is going to come in and fit through the torso, or whether it's going to be boxy and be bigger. So what you want to have a think about is, how is this going to fit my body? So rather than thinking, yeah, I just like the color, or, oh my goodness, I love the print, you can think, hang on a minute, if this is a top, how is this going to sit on my body? So does my waist come in? Well, if my waist comes in, I'm going to need a garment that kind of comes in and complements it. So rather than buy a boxy, which you'll see if it's boxy, because if you see and look at the image, you'll see underneath the arm, it will come straight down. If it has got a bit of a curve and it's coming through the torso, you'll be able to see exactly that it's going to give you some shape, basically. So point 2 is have a look at the garment on its own and see, does it come under the arms? Does it give you a bit of shape, or is it quite straight down and it's going to be quite boxy? That is point 2. Now, point 3 is also more about, is the model, I'm going to take it a different way, is the model bigger busted? So if the model is bigger busted, you might see that it's got more of an open neck on the garment that she's wearing. So have a think about it and think, well, hang on a minute, I'm smaller busted, or I'm middle-sized busted, or I'm bigger busted. How is this going to look on me? And I know it's quite strategic, but in a way, this is going to stop you making those mistakes, because you can think, actually, that's not my shape. Because, the models are great. They're there to, showcase the garments, showcase the collections, but they are a model of a certain height and a certain size. And that goes for the same as if you've got a size 10 model or whether you've got a size 16, 18 model. Think about how your body shape is in comparison, because if your shape is different to that of that model and your height is different, it's not going to work. It is going to be one of those garments you get home and go, oh no, that doesn't fit. So have a think about that. Point 4 is also think about the sizing. Now, we know that between Marks and Spencer's to H&M to other online retailers, the sizes can vary, right? So if she's wearing a size 10, it doesn't mean to say that that size 10 will fit yourself. So think about the brand that you're looking at and think about, how does this brand normally fit me? Does Marks and Spencer's come up quite big? Does Zara come up quite small? Does Warehouse fit me perfectly? Actually, I love the stuff in ASOS because it fits me like a dream. Or, the Phase 8 trousers are always a great length. That type of thing. Have a think about when you are browsing online, think about, the sizing that retailer is known for. We know that, Mint Velvet cuts pretty bang on. In some cases, it's a little bit big. We could look at Evans and go that actually their 14s do come up a little bit bigger. River Island cuts quite okay. And then, just be a little bit cautious as well with some of the online retailers who do a garment that is one size. Now, one size says exactly that. Now, not all of us are the same. We're all different. We all have a different size bottom. We have different thighs. We might be an 8. We might be a 10. We might be an 18. We might be a 20. So from my perspective as a stylist, one size definitely does not fit all. But some of the garments could work. You've got to just figure out, does that one size fit all? Is it going to make me look bigger than I am? Is it going to change the shape that I am? So this is where we really start to look at online in a different way. We're going to look at it and think, will this suit me? Is it the same kind of sizing? Is that model the same height as me? So we start to get a better idea of how we're going to make good purchases. We're going to make good online purchases, but we're not going to be returning half of it because we know that we've kind of looked at it in a little bit more detail. The other thing to think about is think about your style personality and your wardrobe. So we're all good at doing it, right? We all look online and we go, oh, I love that. I love the color. I love that. I really like that style. And the other thing to think about is, how's it going to fit in my wardrobe? Because sometimes you might buy this wonderful garment and get it home and go, doesn't really go with everything, doesn't go with anything actually, or it might go with my jeans. So we really can make these good purchases because we all know, and if you're sitting there listening to this, think about how many garments you have bought via online that potentially still have a label on and they're sat in your wardrobe because you've got it home and it is the wrong length, it is the wrong size, it doesn't go with anything. And then life carries on, life gets really busy, and you've gone past the time that you're able to return it, and actually then you're left with this garment again. So online shopping is fantastic if you use my hints and tips, because guaranteed you will start to look at garments in a different way. And when I go online shopping for ladies, this is exactly what I do. I do exactly this. I look at the shapes, I look at the sizes, I look at the styles, I use the brands that I know are going to work with my client, because then when I make the recommendations, I know it's going to suit her, and she's not going to send everything back because I've strategically looked at it for her. It's going to suit her personality, her lifestyle. It's going to work with her shape, and it's going to work with her wardrobe. So that is what I wanted to jump on today, because I hear it an awful lot. Well, I buy online and I shop online, but I return more than I keep. So hopefully with these hints and tips today, you'll be able to go online shopping with a little bit more kind of knowledge in how you're going to kind of buy the right pieces, so that when you do, you don't have to return and you'll be able to keep them because you absolutely love them. So thank you to everyone for listening to this week's podcast. I'm always welcome to comments. You know that. So if you want to drop some comments down, and also you can give reviews. So if you love this, I'm going to ask for a shameless plug. If you love these podcasts and you find them useful, please give us a review, because then I know that I'm doing something right and you're getting some benefit from what we're talking about. So everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Hope I've helped you with some hints and tips, and we'll see you all next week. See you later.